Greetings, family. Welcome to Spirit Knox, the Brooklyn Mosaic. So, in this video, I wanted to talk about a statement that was said to me once that I thought sounded really crass, but I get it now. I remember having this reader who just seemed really bitter. And I was like wondering why this woman spent so much time talking about herself than she did giving me a reading. And I realized that sometimes people that will come into your life will be jealous or envious of your journey. Like they see your greatness when you don't, or they know your journey when you don't, and they'll be upset. Nevertheless, it was a lesson, and I was able to pull some jewels from it. But one of the things she did say was that what your mama student, you student. And I was just like, what kind of statement is that to make to someone? But basically, what she was trying to say was that when you were in the womb, that's kind of where you received your conditioning, right? So if your mom was carrying you and going through some emotional trauma, that energetic trauma is relayed to you, right? And then it'll be up to you whether you're going to pass that on to your children and so forth and so forth. Um, I know that my mother grew up in a very abusive environment, and she lost her mom at a very early age. She lost her mother at 5 years old. But there was a lot of abuse. There was a lot of domestic turmoil, separation from siblings and that sort of thing. So when she was pregnant with me as a teen, because she was 19 when she had me, it couldn't have been easy, especially not having a proper foundation on what relationships look like, and growing up in an abusive environment. But she still managed to be a loving person and did not repeat a lot of the things that were done in her household growing up. She wanted a better life for her children. So that was the start of breaking, the generational patterns. So I felt like it was important to talk about that because we don't realize sometimes that we are dealing with things that we may not have even caused or even aware of. I have my feet on the table, forgive me, but I wanted to get up close and personal tonight. I didn't want to delay this anymore because there's so much to talk about. So, like I said, what your mama student, you student, generational patterns are important, so that when you're doing your shadow work, that has to be a part of your shadow work, right? Really requesting that you deal with the things that you may not even know or are aware are directly affecting you because it's something you've inherited from previous generations. Sometimes just doing things differently, being your own person, living in your truth is enough to break generational patterns, and being consistent most of all. Sometimes you find yourself doing things and you're like, oh, I don't want to be like my parents. And next thing you know, you're kind of acting just like them, or you're saying things they used to say. But all of that is part of really being aware of what those patterns look like. Are they conducive to your journey, right? Or are they a hindrance to your journey? So just be aware of what those patterns look like. I hope the video was helpful. I'll move on to the next one.